Welcome to EvoLing Mind, where English meets inspiration. Let's train your ears and grow your mind, one word at a time.
Have you ever paused in the middle of an online class and wondered, is this really better than learning in person, or am I just getting used to it? Over the past few years, online learning has shifted from being a convenient option to becoming a global norm. Millions of students and professionals now sit behind screens, attending classes, earning degrees, gaining new skills, and building their future without ever stepping into a traditional classroom. Technology has opened the doors of education wider than ever before. But with every new possibility comes a new question. Are we truly learning better or just learning differently? If you think about it, online learning gives us remarkable freedom. You can study from home, learn during your lunch break, or take a course from a university on the other side of the world. You can pause, rewind, rewatch, and learn at your own pace. And for many people, this flexibility feels like a dream. However, there is another side to the story that we don't always talk about: the loneliness of staring at a screen for hours, the challenge of motivating yourself when no one is watching, and the difficulty of asking questions, making friends, or feeling part of a real learning community. Despite being connected through platforms, we can sometimes feel disconnected from the experience of learning itself. Online learning is not just an educational change, it's an emotional one. It shapes how we pay attention, how we interact, how we stay motivated, and how we feel about our own progress. While some people thrive in this environment, others struggle silently, wondering why learning feels harder even when the content is easier to access. Today, we're going to delve deeper into both sides: the opportunities that online learning unlocks and the challenges it quietly introduces. Understanding these two sides can help us make better choices, not just as students, but as individuals trying to grow in a world where learning is everywhere. So take a moment, breathe, and let's explore the real advantages and disadvantages of online learning, not just in theory, but in the way it impacts our minds, habits, and lives. To fully comprehend the benefits and drawbacks of online learning, it is essential to first understand the concept of learning in the digital era. Learning is not merely the acquisition of information, but rather a process of connection, connecting ideas, teachers, and other learners. In the past, classrooms served as the hub for this connection, with lively discussions, questions, and human interaction. However, with the rise of online learning, education has expanded beyond physical boundaries. This new environment allows for learning to take place anywhere, whether it be at home, in a cafe, on a bus, or during a quiet moment at night. This flexibility is one of the primary reasons for the popularity of online learning, as it caters to individual schedules rather than imposing a fixed timetable. Online learning can take various forms, such as live virtual classes, pre-recorded lessons, interactive platforms, digital textbooks, and courses from universities worldwide. For instance, a student in Vietnam can enroll in a course taught by a professor in the United States. A working parent can attend an evening class after putting their children to bed, and a teenager can learn programming, design, or languages without ever stepping foot in a traditional school. This shift presents incredible opportunities, making education more accessible, flexible, and often more affordable. It also allows individuals to learn at their own pace, with the ability to pause, rewind, and rewatch material without feeling embarrassed or left behind. However, online learning also alters the entire learning experience, removing the atmosphere of a physical classroom, including the energy, interaction, and sense of belonging to a group. Instead of raising your hand to ask a question, you type it into a chat box, read comments instead of the room, and see your classmates' initials on a screen rather than their faces. While this may seem like a minor difference, it can have a significant emotional and psychological impact. Human beings learn best through connection, such as noticing expressions, hearing tone, and feeling the presence of others. When these elements are absent, learning can become more individualized, but also more isolating. Another crucial aspect to consider is that online learning requires a different set of skills. However, in an online setting, this structure becomes the student's responsibility. They must manage their time, focus, motivation, and distractions independently. Therefore, when discussing the advantages and disadvantages of online learning, it is not just a matter of convenience, but also how the learning environment impacts confidence, habits, discipline, and sense of belonging. Online learning is neither better nor worse than traditional learning. It is simply different, offering a new way to learn, but also requiring new skills from students. Now that we have a better understanding of what online learning entails, let us explore why its advantages are significant and why it is crucial to recognize its disadvantages. Why is online learning important in today's world? Learning is not limited to just school. It shapes our opportunities, confidence, and future aspirations. When the way we learn changes, our entire life experience changes with it. Online learning offers significant benefits, especially for those with busy schedules or limited access to traditional education. It provides a level of freedom that was previously impossible. You can learn from anywhere, study while working full-time, and take courses that may not be available in your local school or university. Additionally, you have the ability to choose teachers, mentors, and programs that align with your goals. This global reach is one of the most powerful aspects of online learning, as it allows students in small towns to learn from experts at world-class universities, young professionals to acquire new skills for international job opportunities, and individuals who were once limited by location or circumstance to have access to the same knowledge as everyone else. Online learning is important because it democratizes education, making it accessible to a larger population than ever before. However, the emotional effects of online learning are just as significant as its advantages. Learning online requires discipline, independence, and motivation, skills that are not always naturally developed in traditional classrooms. Without a teacher watching, classmates beside you, or the energy of a physical classroom, it is up to the individual to create their own structure and push themselves to stay focused. This shift in learning can greatly impact one's confidence in their ability to learn. While some thrive in this environment, enjoying the freedom to learn at their own pace, have control over their schedule, and work independently, others may struggle silently. They may feel distracted, unmotivated, or unsure of their progress, which can affect their self-esteem and overall well-being. Furthermore, online learning also affects the way we form relationships. In traditional classrooms, friendships develop naturally through small interactions such as sitting together, chatting before class, asking questions, or working in groups. However, these moments are lost in the online learning environment, and building connections requires more effort and intention. Without these connections, it is easy to feel isolated, even when attending every session. This is significant because learning is not just about acquiring knowledge. It is also about being part of a community, feeling supported, challenged, and inspired by others. When this sense of community is weakened, the learning experience is profoundly impacted. In conclusion, online learning matters because it influences our personal growth, connections, and self-perception as learners. It provides new opportunities, but also new responsibilities. Understanding these effects allows us to appreciate both the strengths and weaknesses of learning in the digital world. Online learning offers flexibility and opportunity, but it also presents challenges that may not be immediately apparent. These challenges do not mean that online learning is inherently bad, but rather that it is different from the traditional classroom setting we are accustomed to. By understanding and acknowledging these challenges, we can better prepare, adapt, and make informed decisions about our online learning experience. One of the biggest challenges of online learning is the lack of face-to-face interaction. In a physical classroom, we not only learn from the teacher, but also from the energy of the room, the reactions, questions, expressions, and small conversations before and after class. These moments help us feel connected and supported. However, in an online setting, these cues are often absent. The teacher becomes a voice on a screen, classmates are reduced to names in a chat box, and the feeling of learning together is weakened. This loss of social presence can make learning feel isolating, even when there are hundreds of students in the same online session. Without the subtle human signals we rely on, it can be challenging to fully engage and understand the material. Another major challenge of online learning is motivation. Without the physical structure of a classroom, it is easy to get distracted by our phones, surroundings, or our own thoughts. No teacher is walking around, no classmates to keep us focused, and no set schedule to guide us into learning mode. As a result, we must create our own structure and motivation, which can be difficult for some. Additionally, technology itself can create barriers, such as internet problems, software issues, poor audio quality, or unfamiliar tools. A single technical error can disrupt our concentration and cause frustration, especially when trying to keep up with a fast-paced lesson. There are also common misconceptions about online learning that shape the way people view it. The first misconception is that online learning is easier because it is done from home. However, in reality, it often requires more effort, as it requires stronger time management, focus, and independence. For many students, online learning is actually more demanding. The second misconception is that online learning is inherently lonely because it is done online. While it can be isolating, it doesn't have to be. Active participation, joining discussions, asking questions, and connecting with classmates can help combat feelings of loneliness. It is not the online format itself that creates loneliness, but rather lack of engagement. The third misconception is that struggling with online learning means you are a bad learner. This is completely false. Many successful and intelligent people struggle with online learning because it requires a different set of skills, such as digital literacy, self-discipline, and emotional resilience. Struggling does not mean you are weak, but rather that the environment is new and may require some adjustment. Another subtle challenge of online learning is communication clarity. In an online class, messages can be easily misunderstood as text lacks tone and facial expressions. Students may also hesitate to ask questions, as typing may feel more formal or intimidating than speaking. Additionally, group discussions can become chaotic without clear guidelines. Despite these challenges, online learning still offers incredible value. However, it is important to recognize and address these difficulties instead of ignoring them. By understanding the realities of online learning, we can work towards a healthier and more balanced approach to learning online. Understanding the challenges of online learning is only useful if we know how to respond to them. The good news is that with a few intentional habits, we can turn online learning into a powerful, effective, and even enjoyable experience. Technology gives us tools, but it is our approach that determines how much we benefit. One of the most important practices is creating a structured learning environment. When studying online, it is our responsibility to create a suitable environment. It is helpful to set up a dedicated space for learning, such as a corner of your room, a desk, or a quiet spot in a cafe. This physical boundary signals to your brain that this is where you should focus, reducing distractions and building a habit of learning over time. Another essential practice is setting a realistic schedule. While online learning offers freedom, too much freedom can become overwhelming. It is important to break learning sessions into smaller blocks and decide on a specific time to study each day. Using a planner or digital calendar can help you stay consistent. When treating online learning like a traditional class with set time commitments, motivation becomes stronger. A third helpful habit is active participation. It is easy to become a silent observer in online classrooms, but learning becomes richer when you engage. Ask questions in the chat box, join discussions, turn on your camera when possible, and message classmates or form study groups. These actions help rebuild the social connection that is often lacking in online learning. It is also important to utilize the advantages of technology rather than just enduring them. Take advantage of features such as pausing and replaying difficult sections, taking screenshots of important slides, using apps to organize notes or create flashcards, and recording short voice notes to explain concepts to yourself. Technology offers tools that traditional classrooms do not, allowing you to revisit lessons at any time, learn at your own pace, and personalize your study style. Another practical step is managing digital distractions. Keep your phone on silent, close irrelevant tabs, and use apps that block social media during study time. Even a brief distraction can break your concentration for up to 10 minutes, so it is important to protect your attention as a valuable resource. Do not forget the importance of communicating with your teacher. If you are confused, ask for clarification, and if you fall behind, reach out for guidance. Online teachers cannot see your body language or notice when you are struggling, so it is important to let them know. Most teachers are more supportive than you may think. Finally, remember to take breaks. Online learning can be mentally taxing due to the amount of time spent staring at a screen. Short breaks, such as a 5-minute stretch or a walk around the room, can significantly improve your focus for the next session. These habits may seem simple, but together they can transform the way you learn online. They create structure, motivation, and connection, which are often lacking in online learning. With these tools, you can turn digital education into a meaningful journey rather than just a task on your to-do list. Now that we have explored practical strategies, let us consider the bigger picture. How does online learning shape us, not just as students, but as members of a global digital world? Online learning not only changes the way we study, but it also transforms us as learners and our connection to the world around us. Its impact is both deeply personal and incredibly global, influencing our habits, confidence, and sense of possibility. On a personal level, online learning teaches us something that traditional classrooms often do not: independence. When studying alone, without classmates or teachers physically present, we learn to rely on our own motivation. We discover our level of discipline and find new ways to stay curious. We also learn to ask questions, search for resources, and take charge of our learning path. These skills stay with us for life, long after the course ends. However, online learning also reveals our emotional patterns. The loneliness of studying alone can make us doubt ourselves, and the silence of a digital classroom can make us feel invisible. We may also miss simple things like a friendly smile from a classmate or a supportive nod from a teacher. These emotional reactions remind us that humans learn through connection, not just through content. Therefore, online learning becomes a mirror, showing us not only what we know, but also how we learn, our strengths, weaknesses, and the habits we need to improve. For some, this mirror brings confidence, while for others, it brings discomfort. However, both are valuable because awareness is the first step towards transformation. Now, let's widen our perspective. On a global level, online learning has changed the meaning of access. A student in a rural village can learn from international instructors. A young professional can join courses from top universities without leaving home. And a mother raising children can build new skills late at night, one lesson at a time. Education is no longer limited by geography, age, or traditional schedules. This global reach creates opportunities that previous generations could never imagine. People from different cultures can learn together, exchange ideas, and challenge each other in ways that strengthen understanding. It is a form of cultural bridge, connecting minds across borders. However, this global access also comes with responsibility because online learning amplifies voices, both helpful and harmful. Information spreads quickly, but so do misunderstandings, biases, and misinformation. As learners in a digital world, we need to think critically, evaluate sources, and stay aware of how easily we can be influenced by what we read or watch. Moreover, online learning also highlights inequality. Not everyone has stable internet, quiet spaces, or modern devices. While online learning creates opportunities, it can also widen gaps if these challenges are not addressed. Recognizing this helps us stay compassionate and mindful of the diverse realities of learners worldwide. Ultimately, the personal and global impact of online learning leads us to a powerful realization. Education is no longer just a physical place we go to, but it is something we carry with us wherever we are. Our laptop, phone, and curiosity become our classroom. With this shift, we all become lifelong learners, connected to a larger world and responsible for how we use the knowledge we gain. As we come to the end of today's episode, I want to leave you with a simple thought, one that underlies every lesson, every screen, and every moment of learning. Online learning is not just a new form of education, it is a new way of becoming. It teaches us discipline when no one is watching, courage when we feel unsure, and resilience when the journey becomes lonely or confusing. Most importantly, it teaches us that learning is not confined to a classroom. It depends on our willingness to grow. While online learning may come with challenges, such as finding motivation or feeling disconnected, it also offers us freedom, the freedom to choose what, when, and how we learn. However, with this freedom comes responsibility, the responsibility to stay curious, engaged, and committed to our own growth, even on the difficult days. Because ultimately, the most valuable lesson of online learning is not found in the content, but within ourselves. It teaches us that learning is a lifelong journey, that progress can happen quietly, and that our future is shaped not by where we study, but by how we choose to grow. So the next time you open your laptop or click Join Meeting, remember that you are not just attending a class. You are investing in your future self. You are building discipline, resilience, and possibilities that cannot be taken away from you. Online learning may shape the environment, but you shape the outcome. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay curious, stay open, and remember that in a world where learning has no boundaries, your growth has no boundaries either.
Thanks for listening with EvoLing Mind. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your English and your mindset evolving every day.